welcome to Texans Talk Money. I'm Kyla, your host and a peer financial coach at Texans Smart. Every episode, we will be joined by another peer financial coach from my office, where we will be navigating all the roads on how to handle your money as a college student. So sit back and get your wallets ready to be Texans Smart. Hey y'all, welcome back to Texans Talk Money. We are filming the final episode of this semester, so you'll have like a month and a half long break from us. But right now we are going to end this like season semester with, I think, a fairly fun episode. What do y'all think? I guess I should introduce my guests, so I'll let y'all talk.
Yeah, I'm Felisa. I've been on here like a couple times now, so I think you guys know me by now, but...
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Gracie. I've also been on here a couple of different times, so it's nice to be back.
Definitely.
I'm glad to have y'all back. Hopefully y'all will be here for the spring semester.
Definitely.
But today's episode is going to be all about holiday spending, holiday shopping,
Yes.
the fun things, ending the year in debt. Not really, but we're going to...
But kind of.
But yeah, so... We'll have a fun episode, and I think the first thing we should start talking about is making a plan for ourselves whenever it comes to holiday shopping. I know I try to do this. I've been a lot better at it the past couple of years, but I've looked on the internet, I've used stuff from my own personal experience and kind of made y'all like an outline or like step-by-step plan on how to achieve your holiday spending plan.
Definitely.
So I think first, like I say in every episode, make your budget. Plan your budget.
Yeah.
It's the foundation of everything that you do and use money-wise. Next, you're going to want to have a list of the events and people that you're going to be buying for. I know Felisa, she has a huge family.
Yeah, this is a big one for me. Like making a list of people. I'm Hispanic, so I come from a very large family with a lot of kids. I think total of us, there's like 28. I think I did the numbers the other day. But with that, they're like a lot of them are kids, and kids are really hard to please. But I've kind of gotten to a point where I'm like, guys, I'm literally a broke college student. Like, I can't do it all. And so I either pick, all adults or all the kids, but one or the other. Sometimes you just can't do it all, and that's okay. But making a list is always like a great place to start to kind of have an idea of like your budget and what you're willing to spend and what you're not willing to spend. But
Yeah, and then I think from there, once you get all the lists and events that you have to buy for, it's kind of a ranking system after that. You're gonna you're gonna have to put people in line of importance for gifts. It sounds a little like rude and judgy, but like you might, depending on relationships with people, you might have higher priorities for like significant others, for parents, for friends, for siblings. Just like you're gonna have to divide up, rank who you want to spend more money on, who you need to spend more money on, or
yeah, for sure.
And then you're going to want to figure out your method of payment. This can be different, especially depending on if you're going to be going shopping in person or if you're going to be using Amazon Prime for everything. I know personally, I will use Amazon Prime for all of my holiday shoppings. And I've mentioned this in a few other episodes, but like I love Etsy, and Etsy will be one of my
Etsy
other
is my
places.
best friend.
I buy so many gifts off of Etsy, but like I feel like
Yeah.
handmade gifts, like even if you don't make them,
Yeah,
have
for
a
sure.
special touch to them.
Definitely.
And then you're going to want to, you have everything down. You're just going to have to make yourself stick to that list and that budget.
Yep.
We'll go into it a little bit later in the episode about, I guess, some more tips to add to that. But that's just your basic outline structure for how you're going to want to do your holiday spending plan.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Kyla.
Of course.
I feel like once you have that list and that budget, you kind of get to a point where you're like, okay, I want to spend, I don't know, $100 on my mom. And then I kind of find myself asking myself, what is affordable? What is, less than $40? What's less than $50? How many items do I want to get here, and kind of go from there. So do you guys have any like ideas on like more affordable gifts or like just kind of anything like that?
Yeah, so I generally try to keep my gift spending like per person around $40. But some ideas that I just have off the top of my head are like gift cards. Gift cards are amazing, especially like when you have someone that's hard to buy for. small gift baskets with like snacks in them, Stanley cups, salt lamps. I love salt lamps. I have one in my apartment and it is amazing.
I think an interesting one, I mean, I was kind of looking at it the other day, and Amazon Alexa. I thought these things were like $100. I know. I think they're very helpful. They're like, you can get the little Echo or Dot for like $20.
Yeah, they really aren't that bad. I think I have like a Google Doc or like Google Home thing. I don't even know what it's called, but it's like pretty useful whenever I'm like rushing in the morning and I'm like, hey, what's the weather? Like, and just like kind of trying to zoom out of the door. But
yeah,
that's a really good one.
You could also do books if you have anyone that loves to read, like hardcover books, beanies or gloves, long socks, slippers, hoodies, shirts, hats, shorts, little stuff like that.
I feel like
whenever you come to like, whenever it comes to gift giving, there's kind of nowhere you can go wrong, you know?
Yeah.
You can always do like, you know, I like to follow the structure of like, I kind of try to buy someone something they need, something they want, and then something they like could use.
Oh, that's
and
smart.
I find this like kind of being kind of like my guide to like a perfect gift, just because, you know, it's something like it comes to mind really easily because like I just think like, what do I need? What could I like use? You know, and I like whenever I'm gift giving for my friends, you know, it's a lot easier because then I just kind of base around myself or like my family. I know them pretty well. I had to grow up with them, you know.
Yeah.
So then it kind of, you know, plays into effect of it just being a lot easier. I think sometimes with like gifts, I like to do just like a few smaller things and kind of make it into like a little cute basket and make it look cute, or like try to make it into like a bigger gift with like a bunch of little things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you all have like anything? I know like holidays can be really, really stressful sometimes. Do y'all have any kind of like tips and tricks, you know, things that y'all like to do specifically at all?
So one of my like favorite things to do, especially if I'm in person shopping, is to bring cash with me. I have that list of people. I have that budget made out. I bring the cash that I need, so I know I will not overspend.
I was about to say,
so
like, whenever I carry cash with me, like, I know I'm not going to go over what I have. Like, it kind of keeps you more in line, and you're not apt to go and get something that you don't necessarily need.
And I know with me, whenever I feel and I see that cash being exchanged, I feel the money a lot more. Granted, I'm much easier on buying other people things and myself things.
Yeah.
But when I see that cash leaving, I'm like, okay, it's not just a plastic card being swiped.
Yeah, you actually have a limit.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, another thing that I really like is because, you know, you'll give yourself that budget. Let's say like a $500 budget. Who's actually going to be spending exactly $500 on the penny? You might want a little bit of buffer room, like 10%. If we're being conservative, 10% is probably a really good buffer room. So how much would that be for $500? Because my quick math is not good. Like $50?
Yeah, I think like $50.
So like a $50 buffer room, so that if something happens, like shipping costs or anything like that, you'll have that little bit of room to give yourself and not make you feel like you're gonna go crazy.
I think I definitely do a lot of buffering also whenever I do like Christmas gifts. What I like to do is I'll, you know, make my list, make my budget, and then tell myself, but if I go over this, I can go 200 over this, you know, or like whatever that may be. So like, for example, like my brother, I only wanted to spend like 50-ish bucks on him, but then I was like, I don't know what I want to get him. Like, I literally have no idea. And then I ended up buying him like an Apple Pencil. So, but I got it on like Black Friday, so I only paid like 90 bucks, I think.
Oh, smart.
So it wasn't too bad, but like, it's nice to have had that like buffer room and me like be aware of it, to where I don't like stress about like, oh shoot, I went a little bit over on him, because then I know like I'm still okay.
Yeah.
So, like, I kind of make a conservative budget and then, like, my ultimate budget, like, if it comes down to it, if that makes sense.
I kind of do the same thing. Like, I allow myself to have a little bit of, like, buffer room of, like, okay, here's what I would like to stay around for each person, but it's okay if, I go a little bit over. Just kind of be prepared for that. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Also, a tool that I think a lot of people could use is those like extensions that you have on if you're going to be buying off of like a website or something, having browser extensions that help you save money. This sounds like I'm going into an ad, but like Honey, I don't know if any of y'all have ever used Honey, but I have this extension browser and it'll show me so many coupons to go through. Sometimes they don't always work, but whenever they do, it's money off that I wasn't planning on having off. So it's a bit.
I didn't even know about that. That's pretty cool. It's nice to like have them just there. Yes. That makes sense. One thing that I really like to do is use credit when shopping. I know sometimes this can be like kind of scary because like, you don't want to go over your limit or you don't want to mess your credit up or anything like that. But I like to line it up with like my pay schedule. So like, for example, like I get paid this Friday, but like all last week I kind of used my credit card for gifts. But I know like on Friday I'm going to go back and, pay that off. So like, yeah, I may have not had like the money last week, but I know I'll have it this week and I know that I can like repay that, if that makes sense.
Using your credit wisely.
yeah, definitely. So like, of course it's always important to try to stay under your 30, but if you go over, it's okay as long as you can like get back under that later. And it's okay to kind of give yourself like some like a grace period, I guess, and like have grace with yourself to just kind of like stay on top of that also. But sorry.
No, you're good. Keep on going.
Sorry, credit's kind of like my thing. But another huge thing is just like to be mindful of like rewards that come with them. Credit cards, I mean, I feel like that's the biggest plus to it. Like credit's really important, but on top of that, you do get like cashback rewards on some things or like, a certain percentage off here and there, like whatever it may be. But during the holidays, whenever it's such an expensive time period, if we're being honest, like taking advantage of those rewards is like really going to help like anyone, to just save more money.
I know I have Discover and they offer like a cashback bonus type deal whenever I use my credit card, and it's super helpful.
I think another a last tip we can use to cap off this little section is, we talked about it in the last episode, but impulse buying. I think during the holidays, impulse buying can be really, really tempting. I know for myself, I've fallen into this pit of impulse buying during the holiday time. But sticking to that list and that budget, I feel like will help you with that impulse buying. And
yeah, definitely.
And if you do have issues with impulse buying and want to figure out more on, I guess, how to get better at not impulse buying, you should go check out our last episode that we did, which was about impulse buying.
For sure. Yeah, impulse buying is a big one for me. Sometimes I just see things and I'm like, oh my gosh, my dad would love this. Swipe. And I really shouldn't. But what I like to do is I'll kind of pick out my gifts for everyone, like in my family, and have that list, add it to my Amazon cart, my Etsy cart, put it in my Walmart app, like whatever it may be. And so then whenever I finally like if I don't have all that money, then when I do, I can just, check out, because everything has already been like pre-selected and it's already like in my budget, if that makes sense.
Ooh, yeah.
But yeah.
Ooh, something just popped into my head. So I know people in my family who do this, but like bulk like gift shopping, like gifts that you can buy in bulk that you might not buy it for like one individual person, but if you need to like fill in a gift here or there, like you have like your jewelry or like candles and socks or soaps,
sure.
You're able to throw those like nicer but like still fairly inexpensive gifts together. And I know for jewelry, I normally won't turn down any sort of jewelry because I love jewelry.
Yeah.
But that's just another tip. So if you go to TJ Maxx, they normally have fairly inexpensive jewelry. You can buy a few like necklaces or like watches, maybe not watches, but like like earrings, stuff like that in bulk, and you can give it out to your friends for Christmas.
Sorry, I was just gonna add in there like, also like handmade gifts. Like if you're a super creative or like artsy person, people love like handmade gifts. Like my cousin, she would make everyone a candle for Christmas.
Oh, I love
that. And
that's so cute.
They smelled so good. I'm hoping to get one this year. Colin, if you're listening,
yeah,
you know what I want. But yeah, handmade gifts, and then also like we would also do like, okay, all the guys in the family get this kind of gift, and all the girls get this kind of gift.
That's smart, especially having that plan with your family, so that I guess you don't feel like you're spending less than anybody else or more than anybody else. You're all just kind of right there with each other, and y'all have like an understanding with one another.
Yeah. One thing, kind of just like my last thing, honestly, for me that I have on holiday shopping is like really, I feel like every business knows that the holidays are coming around, so they're trying to like get out good deals. They're trying to sell like, as many things as possible to just, obviously like make profit, but like really take advantage of that. Like take advantage of like Black Friday sales, like Cyber Monday, and just like any like holiday sales really. I know like this past year, I couldn't tell you the last time I did Black Friday shopping, and I did it this year. I went with my boyfriend and one of his friends, and we literally filled my car up with like so much stuff. I think I honestly like forgot how good Black Friday like sales are. Like I was getting stuff for like 50% off, and like just I got so much of my Christmas shopping done that day. But like just taking advantage of like sales like that during the holidays to just make your life easier, honestly. But
yeah, I know after the holidays, you've spent a lot of money. There can be some debt there. Yes. Holiday recuperation from that debt. I feel like a lot of people kind of fall into that, especially if you're a credit card user, or if you want to kind of replenish that savings account that you may have tapped into to get Christmas gifts out of. Gracie, do you have any tips for us that we could use for holiday recuperation?
Yes. So my biggest tip is whenever you get paid, just put a little back into your account or savings account each time. Put a little something in there. It doesn't have to be anything ginormous. Like literally just little by little start building it back up with each paycheck. And most importantly, like Felicia was saying earlier, have grace with yourself. Like be patient. It's like you're not going to be where you are like overnight. Like it's going to take time to rebuild and get back to where you were. Also, try to limit your use of credit cards as much as you can. Like, I know they're super easy to use, but try to limit how much you use it, because keep in mind you will have to pay that back.
I know, especially as college students, we want to be building our credit right now.
Yes.
Sometimes it might be good to use credit. Sometimes there's not good times to use credit.
All about just being responsible with it. Know your limits. Be honest with yourself. Like, can you do that? Can you really repay that? And if no is the answer, then maybe don't use your credit card, and just wait off on something.
Like, if you're going to use it, just,
be responsible.
Be responsible and keep it to an amount that you can actually easily pay back. And
like Felicia said earlier, stay in that like 30%
yeah, try to stay there
limit. It can be hard to pay stuff back if you get out of that 30% limit.
Definitely.
Another thing about, I guess, getting your money back. Did y'all know that December 26th was the biggest day in returns to stores?
I did
not. That is
not.
Not surprising to me, honestly. Like, it's like, oh, shoot, maybe I didn't need this Christmas gift for my boyfriend. Like, the most random stuff. That is not surprising.
So
that's funny.
I know we all like to think we're the greatest gift givers in the world, and some of us are really great gift givers. Sometimes I feel like I'm not the best gift giver. So I put a receipt in there, and I'm like, if you don't want it, just return it and get the money back on it.
I do that with clothing. Like, if I get anybody a piece of clothing that I think they'll like and then they don't end up liking it, or if it doesn't fit them, I'll always put the receipt in there and be like, hey, look, if this doesn't work, you're not going to hurt my feelings to go and return it.
Yeah.
And it's great because you're spending money on something that somebody might not want or use, and that item isn't going to waste and the money's not going to waste because they'll get that money back. They can go spend it on something else they want or need or will use, as Felicia's gift-giving guide says.
Here's a pro tip, everyone. Whenever you can't think of anything that you would really like for Christmas, just tell everyone in your family, like, hey, I'm just cash.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with giving cash.
Money it can go a long way, and it can help you save up even more, and you can put it towards something that you really want, like a trip. Like if you're wanting to go somewhere, put it towards a trip.
Yeah, I think I just kind of like lastly for me again, save your receipts. Like hold on to things, hold on to those, you know, because you really never know. One thing I like to do is like I know at TJ Maxx it'll be like email or print, and I'm like, you know what, both. Like just in case, knowing myself, I'll probably lose it, but at least it'll be in my email somewhere. I'll find it eventually. But
even throughout the year, this is a great tip because I know I've taken things back. I buy it in the moment. I'm like, I get home and I'm like, is this really what I wanted? Like, but no.
For sure.
I think that's all we have for our listeners today. Sorry for the abrupt
I think
ending.
That's pretty much. I mean, that's all for me. Honestly, it's a pretty straightforward topic.
Sometimes
you know, be responsible. Just don't go too crazy, but still enjoy your holiday.
Sometimes it's nice to be reminded of like the simple things. Sometimes I need to be reminded of the simple things.
Don't stress yourself out.
Yeah, but
take it easy.
Thank you all for being on the podcast today.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Kyla.
Thanks for being on the last one of the semester.
Yes, ma'am.
I enjoyed this semester. I hope you listeners enjoyed the episodes that we had this semester. If y'all have any questions or just want to tell us something, feel free to call us or email us through or DM us. There's a lot of options that you can use to talk to us, honestly.
Just contact us.
Yeah, just contact us. It's in the description of this episode or in the description of the podcast. And if you could, I'm going to start saying something new. So if y'all want to like rate and share this podcast, that would be great. Like share this with somebody who might have issues with holiday shopping. If you find any information in here useful, send it to somebody. Rate this podcast. If you liked it, go rate it. If you didn't like it, you can still go rate it. But I think that's all I have for y'all. Thank y'all so much. And don't forget, be well, be ready, be Texan smart. Bye, y'all.